I'm going to buy it. 60 to 70% of all the people you wait on cannot make up their own mind. They can't. So part of the price on the tag is they're paying us to professionally help them make a decision. That is what they do. If everybody could make a decision, there wouldn't be salespeople anywhere. In fact, you would have a jewelry store, but everything would be in big vending machines. And a client would come in and say, I like VS1F, that's $79.50. You like that? I do. And that platinum mounting right there, halo beside that, you like? Oh, I love that one. That's G7, that's A8. The two of those are, let's see, that $10,950. Punch in those and put in your Visa and it rolls out. I don't know if you know this or not, but there are jewelry stores that are vending machines. And you can go to the airport, and they have all kinds of electronics and vending machines, all the way up to $900. Rolls out. iPads, iPods, high-end headphones, noise reduction. Everywhere you go, there's salespeople, even at makeup counters. And they sell a lady a tube of stuff that's $500. And that other stuff you smear on, it's $1,000. And they have these young ladies that wash their face off sitting there in front of everybody. Now you want to talk about invading a space? I wouldn't want somebody washing my face, standing there watching a lot of people wash my face. Would you want them to do that to you, Ed? I would like that. And then they recreate their face because they're getting ready for a wedding. Their hair is all pulled back, looking funky. And $2,500 later, in a tiny little bag with crap they used up in a month, they come back and do it again. I've seen it. You all have too. That 60 to 70%, the ask, listen, paraphrase, close all the way through is so important. 30-ish% of all people, when they shop, make up their mind very quickly. They're called hunters. They find a shoe, kill it, leave as fast as they can. The others are gatherers, and they're paying somebody to help. But every client gets into what's called the 30-second window. The 30-second window is when they've made up their mind. After your presentation's done, they are going to buy it. And you guys have all done that. You've made up your mind in the presentations. You're going to buy something. If you bought a house, you've done it buying houses. If anybody's ever bought a house, you've done that buying a house. I guarantee it. So what I'm going to do is give you the clues clients give you when you're in your 30-second window. And I really want you to start watching body language salesmanship. Body language salesmanship. And they say between 50 and 70% of all body language is all communications nonverbal. Like I said, I know when anyone gives me the look or the look, and you know if you cut somebody off accidentally and they pull up beside you at the red light just to, show you their IQ finger. Yeah, I mean, we all have body language things happen at the red light. And people think when they're in their car they're invisible, because if you really watch people at the red light, it's kind of funny to watch them because they do the pick, roll, and flick. And I'm not going to tell you what that is, but you can figure that out on your own. Just watch them. It's crazy. They ought to have a TV show. They have America's Funniest Videos. They ought to start doing this to people at the red light. It's crazy what people do at the red light. So, I'm going to tell you the clues. And I'm going to tell you what gender does some of them the most. Now, the presentation is over. You're in the 30-second window. And these are the things that will happen. Now, the closes you wrote. You did the ask, lesson, paraphrase, close all the way through. So the close you use now that fits your profile, that's the close you use here. If it's compliment, direct, whatever, that's what you use here. So, number one. All of a sudden, the client smiled and it was for a moment. This one's usually done by a female. And if you're looking down or not at their face, you're going to miss this because it's not a smile that's plastered for a long time. It's just a smile and it's over. Now, what did she actually just say without saying a word by smiling?
She loves it.
She does, but there's something else she said.
It's mine.
It is, but she's saying she's happy with a... Come on. What did she just do?
Made a decision.
100% correct, and she's happy with it. 100% correct. Now, whatever closes you wrote out, you're in your window, do not use, if you're not a missile, don't use closes Shane uses, use yours, okay? And vice versa. If you are missile, yeah, use direct. Does she need more reassurance? No, she's made up her mind. You gave her that all the way through. If you ask, listen, paraphrase, close. You see a smile and your presentation, you've done the create, romance, appraisal, price, what have you, you're in your window. Close it. Number 2. Have you ever heard of something, don't write this down, but have you ever heard of something called mirrored imaging? Does anybody know what that is? Do you know what it is?
Exactly the same, so if you smile, she smiles.
Right, but you're not mocking them, but...
Right.
It's called mirrored imaging. And when you start looking at industrial and environmental psychology and some of these things, there's a lot of this stuff that you can get into. A great class to take actually for salesmanship is organizational psychology, and it's about physical and mental organization, but it's awesome what you learn. But did you know that if I'm nodding my head up and down, I can get you to nod your head up and down, because I am. But I didn't this time. All of a sudden, the gentleman just nods his head up and down. It's not like the bobblehead in the back of his 57 Chevy that's got light in the eyeballs. When he hits a red light, it just keeps going back and forth. That's not what it is. It's a quick nod. He said, yes, I've made up my mind. 30-second window. Close it. Now, what happens if you wait too long and you're past the window? Just since we're just getting into this, what happens if you wait too long?
They overthink it. Change your mind.
All right. Did you know you can talk so much you talk past the close, guys? You can talk right past it. You can close it and keep talking and ruin it. Talking too much is a cell killer. Number 3, usually done by a lady, is possessive handling. And have you ever seen a lady in here, if you've worked here very long, put it on, walk around with it on? What is she doing?
Making it hurt.
Yeah, she's doing something else, though. What is she doing? She's thinking about where she's going to be seen wearing it. I love to say, just leave it on. I just cut the tag off. That's what I say. That's pretty direct, isn't it? Possessive handling is a strong ownership tool. Watch for it. Now, sometimes, by the way, women are doing more self-purchasing than ever. But sometimes she'll say, well, geez, I've got to talk to my husband first. And I'll tell you what, go ahead and just take it home. If he just says you can't have it, bring it back. He doesn't say you can't have it, guys. Possessive handling is ownership. If you're a complimenter, if you're direct, you're in your 30-second window. Possessive handling. Number 4. There's this old wives' tale that after you close, he who speaks first loses. I'm sure if you've sold before, you've heard that. It's not true. Number 4 is a long silence. It's done by both genders, but it's done more by men than it is women. Now, I want you to pretend I just closed a sale, and I believe the old wives' tale, he who speaks first loses. All right? I want you to pretend we believe that here. And I'm going to tell you when 15 seconds starts, and I'm going to tell you when 15 seconds ends, and in that period of time, I don't want anybody to say a word. And I want you to think about how long 15 seconds is. And I'll tell you when we start. Go. Stop. How long was that?
15 seconds. Too long.
How long was it? You can die in 15 seconds. If I said something that was a close and I didn't say anything to you for 15 seconds, what are you thinking?
I was going to pay for it. What was I going to do? What?
Are you wondering why I'm not saying something? Does it get a little awkward? Gets a little awkward, doesn't it? A long silence is 3 to 5. If nobody is speaking within 3 to 5 seconds, you as a salesperson needs to speak. You need to speak. And they might be thinking about it, especially a man, how am I going to pay for it? Or how am I going to give it to her? What if she doesn't like it? That's what men think when they walk in jewelry stores, because they don't really know. They try to surprise their wives, and it's always good to have ladies on staff because they know more about jewelry and what women want than the guys do. But a long silence, they might need a little more reassurance. So, after you close, if there is a silence like that, 3 to 5 seconds, you can go back and say, I can tell you're thinking about something. What is it? And I'll help you. And whatever it is they're thinking about, help them think about it. Because all they need is a little more reassurance. Do they want it? Yes. How am I going to pay for it? What if she doesn't like it? How am I going to give it to her? Men just usually take a box and have it wrapped up, and I'd love it if we were more creative than that. But give them some creative ideas. Long silences, they're wanting it, but they're thinking about how to give it, what have you. As soon as you pass that hurdle, it's done. Pass the hurdle. And think about all ways to pay. Layaway, check, Visa, cash, a little of all three. Whatever tools you have to help them. Number 5. This usually happens in a bridal case or selling diamonds, but enthusiastic facial expressions, or I've seen the young lady get up and sit on the guy's lap. What's she saying? Now. That's what she just said. Hurry up and buy it. Facial excitement. And people get people bumps. I don't know why you guys call them goosebumps. Geese get those. We get people bumps. That's stupid. People bumps. You see it on the arms. Oh yeah, excitement. What does excitement tell you? Come on, what does excitement tell you? When you're excited, Amber, what does that tell somebody?
That you're happy, you're looking forward to something.
All right, you darn betcha. What you actually said, you are happy, but you're looking forward. That means now. Close it. If you got a lady and a guy, I'm going to show you how to use her to help you close him. People say, well, he's the one paying for it. True. But what you'll do is I'll look at her and I'll say, do you love it? She says, oh, I do. I say, is this one you want to wear the rest of your life? Yes. Do you love the diamond? Yes. Does it fit? Yes. Do you want to leave with it today? Yes. What did he just hear?
Yes.
5 yeses. What is she doing?
She's telling him to buy it.
And I didn't ask him anything. Do you think he got the clue?
Mm-hmm.
Use her to help you close him. Number 6. 3 years ago we talked about objections. Price, integrity, and indecisiveness. Talked about it again yesterday because you can't handle the objection, because yesterday we talked about closing. If you can't handle the objection, you're not going to close the sale. It's that simple. They're going to test you. Objections come out for one of 2 reasons. They need reassurance or it's a challenge. Let me give you an idea. Man, that's a lot of money. Man, that's a lot of money. Exact same words. 2 totally different objections. Now, you've got to remember, price objections are usually going to come out at the end. Indecisive objections can come out all the way through your presentation. Different objections. When they say, man, that's a lot of money, and you say, you know, really? That's something you're going to wear all day, every day, the rest of your life. You're going to have it for 40 years and pass it down to the next generation. If you actually figured out how much it is, it's very, very little. And they'll go, "You know, you're right. How do you want to take care of it?" All you got to do is answer it so that they realize what they just said. It's not a lot of money at all. Value-added statements, if you use them all the way through, eliminate price objections. Value-added statements do that. So, objections, you can be in your 30-second window, but they want you to handle the objection before you actually throw out your clothes. Number 7, men usually do this one. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And it's called repeated questions. They ask you a question at the beginning, and now they're asking the same question again at the end. Now, why are they asking that question?
Reassurance.
100% correct. They want to hear the answer one more time. After you answer it the second time, follow it up with a close because they got the reassurance they needed from you. And guys do this all the time. You know, stores have a money back policy, 7 days or 30 days, and guys will say, "Well, what if she doesn't like it?" And then we'll use something negative. "Well, you got 30 days to bring it back." Don't do that. When they say, "Well, she doesn't like it," I'll say, "What if she does?" Keep it positive. Don't fall back on a negative to give them peace of mind it's okay. Always keep it positive. And say, "We do have a return policy, but you're not going to need it." Always do things like that. Keep it positive. So a repeated question, answer it and close it, especially with a man, because all he wants is a little more reassurance before he does it. Number 8, you're going to have this a lot. Happens all around the world, and it happens a lot in the United States. And it's usually with the good old boys. Got a brand new 1-ton Ford truck, and they're looking at a Rolex, and they'll say, "What's your cash price?" Have you ever heard it? "What's your cash price? What's your cash price? What's your cash price?" You're going to hear it all the time. It's the same as you use Visa or check. It's all the same. Oh, okay. What did I just eliminate?
Price negotiation.
100% correct. One time, I was standing next to Virginia, and the guy said, "What's your cash price?" And she said, "Well, what do you plan on paying with cows or something? We only take cash." She just got by with murder. She did it all the time. She said to pull crap out of nowhere. I never used that one, but I thought it was funny. And she was a classic sneak. And today, we'd get in trouble with stuff she said. But we had a rotary dial phone 40-some years ago, and I can't remember the guy's name. It was like an H name. It was like Hank or Henry or something. I do remember his wife's name. If I remember right, it was Elizabeth. And he always asked for Virginia every time he came in, and he always bought. And he's a wealthy guy. And one time, he said, "Virginia, you never helped me out." She said, "You mean you want a better deal?" He said, "Yeah." And she said, "Well, the price on the tag is the price we're going to sell it for." He said, "Well, I think I'm going to think about it." So she said, "Hang on a second." And she went over to the phone and dialed all the numbers, but the last one held it. And he said, "What are you doing?" "I'm calling your wife." "Why are you doing that?" "I'm telling her you're getting ready to leave." "You're not going to do that." "Yeah, I am." "Give me money, and I'll hang up." I watched her do this. I'm standing here watching her do this. He said, "I'm not going to do it." Wait a minute. Start dialing again. Because she let it go back because it was ringing. He said, wait just a second. And he knew he was going to buy it from in, so did she. But they always fought all the time. He bought it. But I've never seen that technique done since. Did you know that people love to come in and play when they shop? You know people like to have fun when they're spending money? Let's talk about spending money. $1,000 item in here, when the guy's checkbook is about eliminated and they don't have a lot of cash and their Visa's maxed, is harder to sell than a $5,000 item. The guy looking at the $5,000 item, the lady's buying it because they can, and a $20,000 item is easier to close than $5,000, and $50,000 is easier to close than $20,000. The average sale is $500,000 or more in our industry. It takes 30 minutes. You want to know why? Because they can. But what's amazing to me is I go to all these stores, and there's so many people that have this mentality that it's a lot of money that are selling it. And they've got a poverty level mentality. And the more money they want to negotiate, or the more money they make it harder to close, or the more money they make it about the money, and it's not about the money. It's about the item and the experience. The more money it is, the less time it takes to sell it and close it because the person looking at it can afford it. We've got to quit selling out of our pocketbook. So, everybody I approach, did you know your subconscious thought can be a cell killer? Because you can do this. I've done it. Oh, look who's coming in. Oh, hey, everyone's battery. Oh, here comes the repair lady. Da-da-da-da-da. So I decided a long time ago, everybody I approach is a millionaire. They're a millionaire, none's coming in. They're a millionaire, none's coming in. They're a millionaire. That's what I'm thinking. Then I think, man, I'm closing this. I'm adding on, and I'm wowing them, and I'm walking them to the door. That's my subconscious on my way up. Everybody I approach is a millionaire. And I'm assuming everybody is. Do you know what that does to your closing ratio? I was speaking in New Orleans at a national convention not too long ago. And I was waiting for the elevator, and it's an old hotel, and the elevator's very slow, and there are other people in the lobby waiting, and in the elevator we get 2 or 3 people in at a time. And we were all kind of waiting because there were a lot of people from the convention that were staying there, and we kind of piled up in their lobby. And a gentleman came walking in off the street, and his flip-flops were 20 years old. He had an old T-shirt that said he ran in a 10K that was paper thin, and old shorts, and a massive amount of hair. Now he had on a suit. He started talking to me. He said, "You here for a convention?" I said, "Yes, sir. I was just speaking at such and such convention center." He said, "They have a lot of them there." We started talking. Man, the guy was articulate, smart, very. And he said, I asked him where he's from. He said, "Well, I'm from New York City." He said, "I live in the city. I come down here to escape." I said, "Meaning?" He said, "Well, down here nobody knows who I am and nobody asks me for my autograph." And I said, "Well, I'm not going to ask you," but I said, "and I don't think you're being rude, but who are you?" He said, "I wrote the Broadway play Hair. I don't know how many decades it ran and how many multi-millions the guy was worth. But he can't go to Broadway and all the plays and go see them because everybody that's there knows who he is." He said, "You'll be in the middle of the play and I'm sitting next to somebody and they start talking to me and they want me to..." He said, "I come down here to escape." You would have thought he was homeless. What if he walked in? He could buy this whole block and just write a check. So when they say, "What is your cash price?" what they're really doing is testing you to see if you believe it's really worth that. That's the same as you use your Visa or your checkbook. It's all the same. Okay. Don't fold. Don't fold. Now, if they say, "Well, I thought you'd take off at least a little bit," I won't buy it if you don't. Then we'll talk about some of the negotiating standards. But if you do, it's only a little bit. And it's last resort, not first. Number 9. This happens to serpentine salespeople. All of a sudden, the client takes their checkbook out of their pocket, or their Visa or whatever. What did they just say?
Here's my money.
Yeah, they did. They said something else. Happens to serpentine salespeople.
And they start talking about the kids.
You're pretty close. You were in the 30-second window once, and you kept talking, and they really want it. They want to leave, but you blew the first window. So now here's what they're actually saying. "Shut up. Here's my money." That's what they just said. You talked right past the window, and they're letting you in one more time. Just turn right. Okay? Shut up. As you said, quit talking back to kids, the little bunny rabbit that ate your tomato plants, okay?
Nobody watches today.
Number 10, you got a couple at the engagement counter, and all of a sudden they look at each other, then the item, and not saying a word. And she looks at him again, then the item, not saying a word. She looks at him again, no conversation. What is she doing?
She's trying to read him.
What's she telling him?
I don't like it.
That's
No, opposite.
I want it.
I want it.
Well, how's she looking at him? Like, bottom to top or in the eye?
I want it.
So now I use her again to help me close him. Because if they're looking at each other in the item, and she's looking at the item again, yeah, it's time to close it. 11. Men do this one, and it'll happen at this case a lot. All of a sudden they lean in a little bit. That means whisper, and you're in the window. Now. Whisper. Well, until you're ready to go, how did you want to take care of this? You didn't want anybody to know how much you spent it, and you buy it. You see this happen a lot in December. When a guy leans in, it's time to close. Number 12. I love number 12. Got a couple again sitting at the engagement case, and all of a sudden she puts her hand on the guy's thigh and she squeezes. And if she's squeezing hard, her knuckles turn white. And if you've been doing this very long, you've seen the hand on the thigh. What'd she just say?
Right now.
Yeah, right now.
Right now.
And if you don't right now, you're in trouble. Do you understand? Yes, she said it right now. You would not believe the conversations, well, maybe you would, that I've heard at the dining case when they start talking to each other about plans. And that's all I'm going to say. Use her to help you close him again. Number 13, you've got a couple standing, and this one's complicated. Right hand is positive. Left hand is negative. If for some reason you see him take his left hand and put it around her waist, he just said without saying a word, we're leaving. Whatever happened. Or maybe they're late to something. If he's slightly behind her and he takes his right hand and puts it on her shoulder, and she's just tried on 5 or 6 items, and on this particular item she tried on, he touched her. He just said, I love that one. He did. And have you ever noticed, and I'm not being chauvinistic, and don't say she is, because that's the last thing I am. Have you ever noticed, though, when women come in jewelry stores, they play, well, I don't really want to buy anything right now. Have you ever had that happen? Why do women do that? He hadn't been in a jewelry store with her for 6 years, and they're on a date, getting ready to go out and eat, and they stopped here just for fun. Why'd they stop here just for fun? Well, I don't want to buy anything right now. What the crap? And sometimes you've got to go out on a limb. And so I'll say, sir, is it all right if I talk to your wife about, do you guys ever read the chicken soup books? He goes, yeah, my wife's read 2 or 3 of them. I'll say, sir, do you love that? Man, I love that one. That's my favorite one she's tried on. Would you like your habit? I really would. Yes, I love it. So she heard him. Now I'm using him to help me close her, right? And she'll say, well, I just don't want to spend any money right now. And I'll say, hang on just a second. Ma'am, I want you to pretend that you're not feeling very well, got the flu or something, and your neighbor knows it. She boils a chicken and does some good country home